I spent $2,174 last month on things I can't remember buying. Not rent, not bills, not groceries, just the coffees, the delivery apps, the random Amazon hits, the gas station impulse grabs, the stuff that felt like nothing in the moment. When I finally sat down and added it all up, I didn't feel angry. I felt stupid because this wasn't a bad month. This was every month. I'd been hemorrhaging over $2,000 in forgettable purchases for years, and I never noticed because I never looked. That night, I gave myself one rule, one number, $37 a day. In the 12 months since, I've saved more than I did in the previous 3 years combined, not by earning more, not by cutting things I love, just by following that one number. Here's exactly why $37 works when every other budget rule didn't.
Before I explain the $37 rule, I need to tell you why it works when every other budgeting method I tried didn't. I've tried monthly budgets, you know the ones. You sit down on the first of the month, write out categories, assign dollar amounts, feel really organized and disciplined for about 48 hours, and then by the 9th, you've already blown through your dining out budget and the whole system collapses. By the 15th, you're not even looking at the spreadsheet anymore. By the 30th, you've spent more than the previous month because the failed budget actually made you feel worse about money, which ironically made you spend more. Monthly budgets fail because humans are terrible at thinking in 30-day windows. 30 days is too abstract. When you tell yourself you have $600 for the month on discretionary spending, your brain can't process that in real time. On day 3, you think you've got plenty left. On day 12, you've spent $400 and you have no idea how. The gap between a monthly number and a daily decision is too wide. Your brain can't bridge it in the moment when you're standing in line deciding whether to buy something. But daily numbers are different. If I tell you that you can spend $37 today on non-essential stuff, that's concrete. That's a number you can hold in your head right now. When you're about to tap your card on a $6 coffee, you instantly know that leaves you $31 for the rest of the day. When you're considering a $28 lunch delivery, you know that only leaves $9 until midnight. The math is instant, the feedback loop is immediate, and that's why it works. A monthly budget is a plan you forget. A daily limit is a game you play every single day, and your brain is wired to play games.
Now, let me explain why $37 specifically and not $40 or $50 or $20. The average American take-home pay after taxes is roughly $4,500 per month. Obviously, this varies wildly depending on where you live and what you do, but let's use this as our working number. You can adjust it for your own situation. Out of that $4,500, your fixed expenses, the non-negotiable stuff like rent, utilities, insurance, transportation, minimum debt payments, and basic groceries, typically consume about 60 to 65%. Let's call it $2,800. That leaves you $1,700 for everything else, discretionary spending and saving. Now, here's where the $37 comes in. $37 per day times 30 days equals $1,110 per month in discretionary spending. Subtract that from your $1,700 leftover, and you get roughly $590 per month in automatic savings, without trying, without a complicated spreadsheet, without willpower, just by following one number. $590 per month is $7,080 per year. In a high-yield savings account at 4.5%, that's over $7,400 after the first year with interest. After 5 years of this, you're sitting on roughly $40,000. After 10 years, with compound interest working in your favor, you're approaching $95,000. $95,000 from one rule, one number. $37 a day. And here's the part that makes this even more interesting. Before I started this rule, I was spending around $2,100 a month on discretionary stuff. The $37 rule brought that down to $1,110. That's a difference of almost $1,000 per month, and I genuinely cannot tell you what I lost. My quality of life didn't decrease, my happiness didn't drop. I still eat out, I still buy things I enjoy. I just do it within a frame that forces me to choose the things that actually matter instead of mindlessly spending on things that don't.
Okay, so the math sounds great, but how do you actually do this on a daily basis without it becoming another system you abandon by week 2? Here's exactly how I run it. Every morning when I wake up, my discretionary budget resets to $37. That's my number for the day. Everything I spend that isn't a fixed bill comes out of that $37. Coffee is $5, now I'm at $32. Lunch is $14, now I'm at $18. A random impulse buy for $12, now I'm at $6 for the rest of the day. If I hit zero before the day ends, I'm done spending. No exceptions, no borrowing from tomorrow. If I have money left over at the end of the day, it doesn't roll over. Tomorrow still starts at $37. The leftover goes to savings. That's it. Now, there are 3 rules that make this actually sustainable. Rule 1, fixed expenses don't count. Rent, utilities, insurance, gas for your commute, basic groceries, debt payments, these are already accounted for. The $37 is only for discretionary spending, the stuff you choose to buy, not the stuff you have to pay. Rule 2, big purchases need a weighting system. If you want something that costs more than $37, you don't buy it that day. You write it down and wait 72 hours. If after 72 hours you still want it, you save up daily surpluses until you have enough. So if you want a $150 pair of shoes, you need to come in under $37 for enough days that your accumulated savings cover the purchase. This forces you to consciously trade multiple days of small spending for one bigger purchase. And what you'll find is that 80% of the things you write down on that waiting list, you never actually buy. The wanting fades. It almost always does. Rule 3, 1 cheat day per month. On 1 day per month, you can spend whatever you want within reason. This prevents the psychological pressure cooker effect, where extreme restriction leads to an eventual blowout. 1 day of freedom keeps the other 29 days sustainable. Those 3 rules are the entire system. $37 daily limit on discretionary spending, waiting list for anything over $37, 1 cheat day per month. That's it.
Let me tell you something I didn't expect when I started this. The $37 rule doesn't just change your spending, it changes the way your brain processes purchases, and that shift happens faster than you'd think. In the first week, it feels annoying. You're constantly aware of the limit. You catch yourself doing math before every purchase. Can I afford this within today's $37? It feels like friction, and honestly, some days in that first week, I resented it. By week 2, something starts to shift. You begin prioritizing. Instead of buying coffee and a snack and a random browse purchase, you start choosing. You think, okay, I really want the coffee today, so I'll skip the snack. Or actually, the snack matters more. I'll make coffee at home. You're not depriving yourself, you're ranking your wants. And that ranking process is where the real financial intelligence develops. By week 3, you start noticing things that shock you. You realize that most of your daily spending was unconscious. You weren't buying things because you wanted them. You were buying things because the opportunity was in front of you. You passed a coffee shop, so you bought coffee. You opened an app, so you ordered delivery. You saw an ad, so you clicked and purchased. None of it was deliberate. The $37 limit forces every purchase to be a conscious decision instead of an automatic reaction. By week 4, something almost strange happens. The $37 starts to feel like more than enough. You're ending most days with $10 or $15 left over, not because you're suffering, but because you've naturally eliminated the spending that was never adding value in the first place. You've trained your brain to distinguish between "I want this" and "this is just in front of me right now." And that distinction is worth thousands of dollars per year, probably tens of thousands over a lifetime. All right, let me show you what actually happened over my 12 months of following this rule. Real numbers, no exaggeration. Month 1, I hit the $37 limit 22 out of 30 days. The other 8 days I went over, mostly by $10 to $20. Total discretionary spending was $1,340, better than my old $2,100 average, but not perfect. Net savings from the rule that month was roughly $760. Month 3, I was hitting the limit 27 out of 30 days. My total discretionary spending dropped to $1,150. I'd also found about $80 in subscriptions I canceled because the daily tracking made me question everything. Net savings that month was about $950. Month 6, this is where things got interesting. I was consistently spending under $37 most days. My average daily discretionary spend had dropped to around $29 without me trying to push it down. It just naturally contracted because I'd eliminated all the unconscious spending. Total discretionary spending was around $870. Net savings was over $1,200 that month. Month 12, my discretionary spending averaged about $25 per day. My monthly savings had grown to roughly $1,400. My emergency fund went from basically nothing to over $8,000. I paid off a credit card I'd been carrying for 2 years, and my total savings for the year was just over $12,500. And let me repeat the part that still surprises me. I did not feel like I was sacrificing anything. I still bought coffee multiple times per week. I still ate out. I still bought things I wanted. I just stopped buying things I didn't actually care about. And it turned out that most of what I was spending money on fell into that category.
Here's what the $37 rule actually taught me, and it's bigger than the money. Every financial system in the world, every budget, every app, every method, they all try to control your money. The $37 rule doesn't control your money. It controls your attention. It forces you to pay attention to every single spending decision every single day. And once you're paying attention, the right decisions happen naturally. You don't need more discipline. You don't need a better budget app. You don't need to earn more money. You need one clear number that makes you conscious of what you're doing with the money you already have. For me, that number is $37. For you, it might be $25 or $42 or $50. The specific number depends on your income and your fixed expenses, but the principle is the same. One daily limit. Every day, no exceptions, except the one cheat day that keeps you sane. Now, here's what I need you to do. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, before you scroll to the next video. Step 1. Open your calculator app, take your monthly take-home pay, subtract your fixed expenses, divide what's left by 30, take 65% of that number. That is your daily spending limit. That is your version of $37. Write it on a sticky note and put it on your wallet, your phone case, wherever you'll see it before you spend. Step 2, drop that number in the comments right now. I don't care if it's $12 or $80. I want to see everyone's number because here's what's going to happen. When you type that number and hit send, you've made a public commitment. And public commitments are 47% more likely to be followed through than private ones. That's not motivation talk, that's psychology research. So use this comment section as your accountability wall. I'll go first. My number is $37. I've been running it for 12 months. $12,500 saved. One credit card killed, emergency fund built from $0 to $8,000. Same salary, same job, same life. Just one number on a sticky note. Now it's your turn. Drop your number below. And if this video made you realize that you've been spending unconsciously and you want to fix it, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Because next week, I'm releasing a video that shows you exactly where to put the money you save from this rule so it actually grows instead of sitting in a checking account losing value to inflation. That video is the second half of this system, and without it, you're only doing half the work. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, calculate your number, drop it in the comments, and I'll see you next week with part 2.